Hello everybody, welcome to our PYTHA basic Radiolab training. So in this video now we'll cover on how we can put in material for the cabinets, alright, or even material for the wall and ceiling. So over here is what we can do. Okay, so first thing, before we put in the material, you need to select the surface. Okay, so you can see over here there is parts and there is surface. So for example, a part, if you're creating a panel, a part will have 6 faces. This time, so we can differentiate by choosing parts which will add material to the whole part, or we can choose the face to add. Okay, so for now I'm going to apply the color. I will apply tile to the floor. So I will click on faces and I click on the floor. Notice that when I click on the floor it turns yellow. This means that it has been selected. Next, I'll right click, I'll go to surfaces and I'll say create new surface and assign to selection over here. Alright, so this is the surface editor that will pop up, which allows me to edit my surface. So first thing, I will make sure that the color is white. Okay, next thing, I will go into the texture tab and I will choose my tile material here. So over here, I will go into my folder. Okay, so for these tiles, you can just download it off the web, or you can make your own library. Alright, so I say I want this tile. I just select it. I say load to screen and load to scene and load to surface editor, and I close this off. Okay, one thing you'll notice is that the screen now is very I would say it's very big. The tile, it doesn't look realistic. So what I'll do, I'll just go to UV mapping. Okay, so for UV mapping, first thing you can see, you can rotate left, right. Okay, you can do the rotation of the tiles. Next thing, you can adjust the scaling. Okay, so now right now it's relatively 1 1, meaning to say we'll put 1 across and 1 on the 2 axis. So what I will do is just say keep the aspect ratio, and then I can adjust so that I squeeze in more tile into the room. Okay, so that this will look more realistic over here. Alright, so next thing, what else can we do here? So we can also put per meter. So if we go into per meter, basically it just tells me that how many of this picture will I put in 1 meter, and of course the size. Okay, size basically can key in the exact size in terms of millimeter. Alright, so you will get an exact replicate on how it is. So next thing you can do is that, for example, using this as a ratio. Okay, after this is done, you can adjust the left and right. So over here, so you can adjust it front and back. You can see now on the screen my tiles are moving, so you're able to map your thing. So now this is left and right, so you're able to map according to your desired position of your tile. Alright, so once that is done, I can say okay with my mapping. Okay, so over here maybe I want this to be a gloss surface. So what I need to do is just come to the texture material. I just say real-time mirror. Alright, so it will become a gloss surface, and you can see when I move back, I am able to see the reflection on the floor very clearly. Alright, next thing, I can go into material. So over here, material, I am able to control the kind of specular. You can see the different kinds of material control over here. So specular is something that you need to play around. So it does have a control over how much reflection it will give. Okay, so if you you just need a little bit of specular to give it some reflection, so that you can still see the tile, the texture tile below it. Diffuse is just how much light that it will absorb, and transparency, shininess, I can just put to 0. Okay, over here you can see the specular blur. If you want it to be more realistic, you can decrease the specular blur a little bit so that it doesn't look like a real mirror, but usually customers like it to be really fake, so just give them a real mirror. Alright, so there are different components that you can adjust here. I'll leave it for you to save it, to play around. Or one more thing is that you can, okay, if you like this setting, you can always say over here, you can say new, and you can save this new material preset. So over here, maybe I can just say shiny tile, so that I have a shining tile preset. So next time when I want it, I can just save it. So I can, next time when I want, I can just shiny tile and I click on apply. It will apply to the surface that I do. Alright, so that is applying to the floor, applying to one face. So next, what else can we do? So for example, if I want to apply a color to the wall, I can just go to plots. Okay, I change to parts and I click on here. You can see all the surface is selected. Same thing, so right click surface, create new and add to selection. Okay, so here what I will do, okay, I'll just remove the HDR. So what I do, you can see when I can change the color of the wall immediately. So for this, I usually recommend customer you can change the color using the color wheel, or you can use the RGB number over here. Okay, last but not least, if you know the hex code, you can also choose the hex code over here of the color that you want. This will give you a realistic color. Okay, so I just use the color wheel. I find maybe the color that I like a little bit darker. Okay, and I just say okay. I can also control the material over here, where I will probably just have just a little bit of specular so that it has a little bit of a shine. That's about it. Okay, and from here I can just say okay. So this is the second way that we can apply material on it. And last way, okay, I can go into here. You can see edit selection. Okay, remember in PYTHA modeler we will always teach you that we need to group the parts. So what happened here is that you can see now I have my base cabinet all grouped together, and I also have my wall cabinet grouped together. So you can see very quickly I can just select everything there, and I say select. Look, all my base and my wall cabinet has been selected immediately. Alright, notice that. Okay, so after I select them I say okay. So same thing, right click surfaces, create new and add to selection. So from here, for example, if you have laminates, brand of laminates, you can load them using texture. But first thing, I will change this to white. Always remember that this is your base color. Make sure that it is white if you want to apply a texture color. So I can go into texture, I go into browser, and from here you can see that I have various laminates. So I have Formica over here, I have other brands. So maybe I'll just do an Admira, and I will just put in some color. I will put in maybe a gray. Okay, and it doesn't look very obvious, so let me choose something that is brighter. Okay, so I can just load in the red color. Okay, so you can see I am able to put in the color straight away for the laminate, and we are able to get the color pretty quickly. Okay, and if I want to change it, I can just load it in. Okay, and now you can see the texture being loaded very quickly. Okay, so for now I will just say that I want to load in a plain color. Alright, so I'll find something that is nice to load in. Okay, I'll just put in a blue and I say load. Okay, now there's a blue color. Well, and I say close. So to confirm this, all I need to do is I say okay, notice this is actually the actual product code that you need when you do the ordering. So once that is done, okay, so next thing I want to do is over here you will notice this, our solid top. I need to put in some texture. So same thing, I make sure here is selecting parts. I select here, right click surfaces, create new and add to selection, change to white. And from the texture, what I will do is go to browser. I can search for my Tecton. Tecton is a cellstone provider, right? So this is cellstone. Tecton is a stone provider. So I can go there and I can load into the surface. So from here, if I move up and I look down, okay, you will be able to see that okay, the marble effect has been done. Okay, so I close this. If you want to adjust, you can always come to UV mapping. Okay, so always come to surface editor, UV mapping. Okay, and from here you can put in the ratio. So just to make sure that it is okay, it is following your mapping. And if you're unhappy about it, you can see you can always move it around to make it look nicer. Okay, so you can see you're able to play around with the mapping and you're able to see the effect immediately. Alright, so this is why customer love PYTHA. You're able to make changes and you're able to see it immediately. The live rendering is amazing. Alright, yep, so this is how the few steps that we can apply material onto PYTHA. Alright, thank you for your time.